Stream is online. Things seem to be working. Hey cutie, welcome. Hope you can hear me. A lot of things got moved around and changed. Settings had to be made. So I hope everything is in working order. This is kind of a test. I did do a private test earlier. It seemed to be fine, but you never know. So, this is just going to be a little test as I just draw wildly on here. See how the stream handles that. Okay, seems to be working. Nice. Cool. Okay, so it does look like everything is at least working. I have no idea if you can hear me, but I hope you are having a fantastic day. Awesome. Thank you for your feedback. I do appreciate you coming in and doing that. Alright, so today I was just doodling as I was doing my test streaming. I have spent several hours trying to figure out what was wrong with OBS. And what I mean by several hours, the entire time I was off, it was driving me crazy. Thank you, Google Sensei, for finally giving me the answer. Essentially, my PC, my little laptop, is not powerful enough to run several things at once. So I had to, I pulled chat and my preview off to my tablet. Alright, so I totally forgot what I was doing earlier today when I started doodling this. This probably won't be too long of a stream. Again, wasn't entirely sure if this was even going to work, but I am glad to be back. So I am working on yet again another Samus fan art, simply because I needed something to draw, and I have the reference right here. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to start drawing, see how quickly I can do stuff, and seeing if I can fix the stream. So yeah. That's that reason. Right. Let's work on the sketch of her ponytail. I can notice a little bit of lag on my PC now that I know what the issue is, but actually still doable, so I think we're fine here. She has a much higher ponytail. Ponytail comes up over here. It's funny that with the small amount of lag, it is going to put just a small damper on my progress, because but nonetheless, I love doing it. And hopefully meeting some new people with the stream. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know if you know about my little laptop that could. It's refurbished. I'm literally operating off of a refurbished laptop. And, it's trucking. It's doing its best. But I was pushing it a little too hard. By having just a few too many programs running at once. Now, even though I do have the reference with me, I am going to be taking some liberties with her design. Simply seeing what I can do with some artistic liberties. You know, my last Samus artwork was like by the book, trying to imitate and copy, trying to get everything down. Now I'm at the stage of which I want to mold and shape in my own way. You should also put drawing on your title so people can also search your stream on live, because that's how I found. What did I put? I don't even know what I put, because I just kind of put, oh, I put Doodling today. That's right, because I didn't know if this was actually going to work. So this was a, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I'll have to remember that for next time. I'm also going to be trying to implement a new strategy for smaller details that I have learned, which is to draw something really big and then shrink it down, like put all the crazy details on it, then shrink it down into the smaller thing when you're ready to add it to the actual piece. So I'm excited to try that to see how well that goes. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. I kind of like that though. I don't think I noticed this detail in my last drawing, that her hair is actually covering her left ear as it comes around. Oops. Ignore that. Now I'm going for like a crazy pose this time, because like she has a whip on the gun. It's like an energy whip that I kind of want to coil around her. Not quite sure how I'm doing that yet, because I do need to make sure to reference that she is actually kicking this way, because it does kind of look like she's semi-realistic. No, I am. Well, I do tend to be on the realistic side. I want to be on the realistic side. I don't know how close I'm gonna get, because again, my level capabilities. But I am going to try to put a lot more detail. I'm going to try to I'm gonna try to stylize her eyes a lot. I'm going to try to get like the details of her shoes that I kind of missed last time because of the perspective that I was doing. But as far as her face goes, it is going to be a little more anime-ish, a little more on the cutesy side. Because the last piece I did of Samus was very stern, very angular, very more, I guess you would say, realistic. But this time I'm going to try to stylize it a little bit more into a more anime manga style. I'll put the energy beam on the clothes layer. That way I can visually see it that it's different. Like, I'm making her eyes bigger than she normally would, because she has really tiny eyes for a protagonist. Because, again, she's not really supposed to have emotions. She's kind of the faceless hero. And so she doesn't need to have those strong emotions that people need to reflect. Okay. Let's fix this up here. Her pelvis is kind of just like a bowl. Okay. I do want to add the Metroid in here somewhere, like the little baby Metroid. I don't know where it would be best to add it, because I am kind of running out of space. Maybe it can be in the background? Like, this is probably going to come much later, which is the Metroid. Because I actually have to pull up a reference for the little baby Metroid. But for now... This is my most basic Metroid. I used to draw this a lot on, like, when like you're in middle school, you like doodle a lot. This used to be on this little Metroid thing that I'm drawing here used to be on all of my little folders. Oh, I need to change that. Did it again. I accidentally made my ink white. Okay. Alright, now that we have our directions. I probably should give her a little bit more of an expression, but we can work on that later. Let's go ahead and build the new layer. And like always, I like to do my clothing in blue. So this is going to be clothing and details. Alright, so let's start with the shoe, since that's probably like the one piece of clothing that's gonna stand out. It's gonna be really. Why did it go back to black? Alright, I'm trying to find a place to put my reference. Okay, here we go. This is just going to be a rough sketch of the shoe, because I do want to work with it a lot more in detail a little bit later, but for now, I just want to get down the basic of it. Who's the character in drawing? Samus. Samus Aran from the video game Metroid. I was drawing her previously on a different art piece, but again, because I had no idea if this stream was even going to be workable, I needed something quick, and I had the figurine of Samus on my desk, so I'm like, you know, it's an easy reference, so I just decided to whip this up. This was done in the half hour that I was testing the stream. Chun-Li? Oh, yeah, with the kick. No, so back when I was playing Smash, I used to play Zero Suit Samus a lot, and she does a lot of the rocket kicks. So that was what I was trying to emulate. I had to pull up a reference of a real person doing a roundhouse kick, because it was crazy to think about. It's like, you would think that from all the roundhouse kicks that I had to do when I was training in martial arts, I would have an idea how to do it. But when I was trying to come up with like how to do a roundhouse kick to draw, I was like, I have no idea how that body even looks. Body's a weird thing, man. Like, I didn't realize how many twists and turns your body does, especially in action scenes. Chun-Li would be an interesting one to draw as well, but I'm like, oof, it's been a while since I've played I'm even blanking on the game's name, Street Fighter. Have you ever tried to use your martial arts skills to someone who's trying to look for a fight with me? Yes. If you're asking if I've had to use my martial arts in a real life scenario, the answer is yes. And I still got into a lot of trouble because, yeah. Fun fact about being trained in martial arts, especially for a long time: if you hurt someone, you're liable for that person's injuries. So, as a person that taught self-defense, it's very touch and go on when you should actually be using your martial arts. Even if you are trained to do so, you should always be looking uh not to use your martial arts because you will be fined. um I definitely injured them. I did not KO them. I was not trying to KO them. I was just trying to get them to back off. And a couple of hits to the head. And they backed off, but by that time the police had arrived, and fines were still issued. And the funny thing is, like, I can be a pretty aggressive person, especially like if you get on my bad side. If you come at my friends who aren't trained, I will go ham on you. Is the type of person I am. I'm very I'm a very defensive person. Like, I don't like to go picking for fights because, again, I'm much smaller. But I like when it comes to my friends, or in this case previous friends, because don't really talk with anyone anymore. Thanks. Uh, thanks to world events. Did you ever also have to fight someone who's also good at martial arts? Uh, I did get into a scuffle with a person in the military. Uh, they all military people. Well, here in the United States, they have, martial arts training. I don't know how good he was. I just knew he was in the military, so I already knew he had combat training. But that's the extent of it, I believe. A few blows were dished out, friends separated us, and we went our ways. That one didn't really have like a clear winner. We both came out just a little injured. It's a funny thing when sizing someone up when they clearly don't know what they're doing, but they're still itching for a fight. And you could like, at least in my experience, I've been able to tell, all right, this person's actually been in a fight before. He knows that even though he's much bigger, that I will do something to him, and he is prepared for it. Like, there's that, like, there's almost that caution of someone trying to size you up that you are very familiar with when you get experienced enough. Because no matter how big you are and you're looking for a fight, I've noticed that people that are, you know, that have been in fights before, that they never underestimate their opponent, unless of course they're drunk. Then, you know, there's not much sizing up going on there. Okay, let's see here. I'm just trying to draw in where I believe the important clothing lines will be. Uh, like legitimate fights that I actually like felt endangered in, less than 5. Again, a lot of martial arts is how to prevent being into a fight, how to de-escalate a skit, how to de-escalate something before it gets out of hand. But the people that, ignored the warning, less than 5. Because most people are smart. you know. And to be fair, most people aren't willing to actually get hurt. Even though they size you up, uh, once it starts getting real, a lot of people back off. A lot of people are not ready to get hurt. Like, they're ready to dish out pain, but very few people are actually ready to get hurt on the fly. Okay. Her clothing is pretty skin tight, so I don't have to like draw on the entire suit. When it comes down to detailing the pattern, I can do that a little bit later. Once I get the full body like uh, lined out. may have put on the stabilizer. Of course, I'm on the wrong layer. Hello? Okay, that was weird. I had an alarm for something. Give me one moment. Alright, sorry about that. Why does this seem so dim? Is my opacity for this brush? Nope. Yes and no. If you are an exceptionally, like, if you have a lot of training in martial arts, you are actually liable if you hurt anyone. At least where I'm from. Even if they provoke it, and even if they start it. If you hurt them, and you're trained, you can still be charged. It's dumb, but at the same time, it's to protect people because, you know, some people with their martial arts go a little crazy. Seems really light. Why? It wasn't. Oh, I know why. I was on the wrong brush. I was still on the pencil brush. I want to be on the inker. Yeah, yeah. I pretty much agree with you there. Like, I'm a person that once you start, like, I'm a person that believes if you throw down arms, you have given up your right for safety and protection. But because of a few bad apples out there that can't control themselves when they have lethal training, it has to stay that way. Like, I understand why it's there, because again, if you're ridiculously trained, you could kill someone. And no matter what the situation is, I don't like the idea of killing. I never, even when I was teaching, I never told them. Nor did I teach any of the techniques that, could accidentally do that. Because there are some techniques that, if you do it wrong, you will permanently hurt them or worse. That's a different story. That is, what I'm talking about is simple bar fights. If they come at you with a deadly weapon, or you can convince them that you felt like your life was completely in danger and it does look justified, that's completely different. However, it's really hard for police to actually prove that because most police don't see it eye to eye, like are eyewitnesses to the start of the combat. Let me play around with the lasso tool and increase the size of that arm, because now that I'm looking at it, it does look a little small considering it's supposed to be in the foreground of my oh, that definitely looks better. So I guess the easiest way to think about it is rock, paper, scissors. It's like martial arts endanger non-martial arted people, but weapons will always endanger even martial arts people. So if a person's coming at you with a weapon, it's very easy for the police to determine, hey, yep. One of the things that the first thing we actually taught when I was still teaching self-defense was to get the attention of everyone around you. to essentially scream at the top of your lungs. That way, if anyone was close by, that they will see that you are trying to de-escalate and trying to get a witness to what you're about to do to this person and why. You know, a lot of people, at least down here, I've attended several classes ever since my teacher left, trying to, you know, fill that hole. Uh, but a lot of them don't teach that, and it's very sad because to me, that is a very key aspect of defending yourself, which is getting a witness. Because yeah, you can defend yourself physically, but then when it comes down to it, how are you going to defend yourself legally? What are the witnesses going to say? Oh, this dude with martial arts training just beat down on this dude? Versus, this dude was yelling for them to stop. The people didn't, and then he proceeded to beat his ass. So, witnesses, noise, I always teach that first before anything else. If you have to beat someone up, make sure that you have witnesses of why. That is kind of my go-to rule. Or at least attempt to get people to notice you. And I've even had a student where their aggressor stopped simply because the first thing they did was make noise. Is it real that you need to uppercut someone on their nose to make it bleed? Oh no, that's fine. You know, keeping me talking keeps me awake. And, you know, I've spent years doing martial arts. Can't do it anymore, so might as well talk about it. um, hitting someone in there, hitting someone correctly like that is very effective. In fact, if you must get into a fight, I teach that instead of punching, because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of pressure goes onto your wrist when you punch someone, and 9 times out of 10, if you are not trained properly, you will break your wrist if you punch with full force. Those are actually called open palm strikes, at least from what I taught them as. Ever since I learned about open palm strikes, I never punched ever again. Like a straight on jab, never did it. Because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to hurt my wrist. And now that I'm a drawer, I'm very thankful that I didn't. You have to be a little more specific on what you're asking why to because of the lag of YouTube. I don't get your comments super quick anymore. I did have to put it on a smaller delay, or a larger delay, I should say, to help with alleviate the pressure off of my PC. So, if you do ask why, make sure to ask, what you're actually asking about. Because I don't know what you were saying why to. Ah, I see. Yeah, a lot of things have stopped me from doing so. Health issues, uh, world situations, my teacher leaving. How about the brass knuckle? If you don't care about your hand, use brass knuckles. I have never been a fan of them. They are hard to put on. They will destroy your hand after a couple of hits. Like, overall, if that's all you got, use it. But I do not recommend at all. You're better off, picking up a stone. How about nunchaku? Again, my suggestion is, if you do not have training in a weapon, don't use it. You will probably hurt yourself as much as you will be hurting the other person. Again, if your life is in danger, use whatever is at your disposal. Uh, because why the hell not? But if you can help it, don't go picking up nunchaku unless you have training, because it could go very badly. I've seen videos of people trying to use bow staffs, and them smacking themselves in the face with, why can't I speak? They are like swinging it around, doing a flourish, and then they smack their face with the bow staff. And I'm like, that's exactly why you don't pick up a weapon you don't know how to use. People forget that bow staffs are very flexible and will snap at you. Because in the moment, the the worst thing you can do is knock yourself out for your opponent or your aggressor. You don't want that. Oh yeah. Yeah. You have to remember, it's a weapon. It's meant to do damage to someone, and if you don't know how to use it correctly, that damage is going to be on you. To be fair, like, if your grandpa had training with the nunchaku, then by all means, like, have him show you and train you would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. But if you don't know how the weapon operates, you're in for a bad time. It's like, same thing with firearms. You know, I thought I had a grip on firearms before. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I mean, getting training by anyone would be actually pretty cool. I think nunchucks are rather an interesting weapon. That's a little bit better. Why, thank you. I am a little worried since this was a quick doodle. But I also haven't taken time to kind of step back. I've just kind of continued like focused in, so I do see some issues I need to fix right away though. Starting with this part. Have you tried to do rapid sketch scribbling? That's kind of what this was. I was like, you know what? I need to practice something, and like I need to get my drawing practice in for today, because I didn't know if today's stream was gonna even happen, and I needed to test my stream. So I was like, gotta do them both at once. Let's draw up something quickly, try to fix my issues, and thankfully both things came out okay. So this was rapid multitasking sketching. But I think that's good enough for today. I've already been online for about an hour and a half. I still need to eat. I came home from work and I was like, I'm gonna figure this thing out, and I am hungry. But I am very happy that we are actually able to make this work. And as always, thank you for coming out and keeping me company. It is most fun and interesting. And hopefully tomorrow I will be on time with everything and not have to test everything, so that we can have the full 2 hours. But for now, because I suck at outros, I'm just going to say goodnight and see you later.